Well, the White House, after Labor Day, September 2nd, 2025, President Trump says he'll have a, quote, special announcement today at 2 p.m. I wonder what it could be. Maybe something like, I'm the best president that's ever lived. I don't know what he's going to say, but we'll cover it here on RAV. Welcome back, everybody, to American Sunrise. All right, the Trump administration has approved sales of long-range missiles and other devices to Ukraine. It's part of an $825 million arms deal. Ukraine reportedly will use the funding from other countries and other U.S. foreign military financing to pay for the weapons. So for more, let's bring in the founder of Defense of Democracies. That would be Cliff May. Cliff, great to have you here on the show. So, you know, how much, I wonder, will this weapons deal help Ukraine? And really more broadly, Cliff, there seems to be an uptick in deadly missile and drone strikes coming from Russia into Ukraine yet again. So you have to wonder if Putin's just playing around again with Trump after the Alaska summit. Good morning to you. Tell me what you think.
Good morning to you, David. Good to see you all. Putin is making it very clear that he has no interest in peace. He has no interest in a path to peace. I would argue that what he is planning now is his autumn offensive. I don't know if that coincides with the meteorological autumn, but he intends to hit hard if he can and see what he can get back. For now, if you've been listening, he says, I don't want to meet with Zelensky, as President Trump has suggested, and I'm not interested in a trilateral, which would be me and Zelensky and President Trump. I'm not interested in any of that. I'm interested in hitting hospitals and nursery schools and museums and residential buildings. It's very good that the Trump administration has sent over $800 million of these new missiles, not the most sophisticated missiles we have. They're kind of souped up artillery, I would say. There are other missiles we should be sending, along with, I think this is important, with permission, the kind of permission Biden didn't give, to use the longer range missiles to hit military targets inside Russia. Putin needs to feel pain. If he does, then he may be willing to say, okay, we can stop the war, freeze it where it is. I think obviously more economic pressure would be very helpful too. I have to think that President Trump is getting rather frustrated with Putin at this point.
You know, I do want to get your reaction, Cliff, to this as well. Putin was just in China over the weekend. Chinese President Xi Jinping hosted India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Vladimir Putin for a summit. Xi and Modi emphasized that their nations are partners rather than rivals, signaling a shift in India's geopolitical orientation amid escalating trade tensions with the U.S. Your reaction to all of this, talk to us about the significance of this summit and these leaders getting together.
Yeah, this is the alternative to American leadership in the world, which is the aspiration, the ambition of Xi Jinping. He's been very clear about this for years. If you just read what he is saying to his comrades, by which I mean the about 100 million members of the Chinese Communist Party, the most powerful communist party in all of history, he's saying we are going to have a new world order. America will be sidelined. China will be the basis of it. There's what we call my think tank, FDD, Foundation for Defense of Democracies, an axis of aggressors because they all want other territories. So Russia wants to subjugate the Ukrainians. Xi Jinping wants to subjugate the Taiwanese. Kim Jong-un, North Korean dictator, dynastic dictator, he was at this conference. He would like to subjugate the South Koreans, and of course Iran and its allies want to exterminate the Israelis. The important phrase that was heard at this conference, I want to bring this to your attention because you're going to hear it a lot, is that these nations are involved in building a multipolar world order. That sounds nice, and they know it sounds nice. They know there are Americans who are credulous and say, how great. Why shouldn't there be a multipolar world order? We'll all be equal. Isn't that great? And what they mean is America needs to be diminished, not a leader of a free world. And then as America is diminished, eventually it will no longer be multipolar. It'll be unipolar, in particular in Beijing, but again with allies in Moscow and Tehran and Pyongyang, capital of North Korea. That's what he has in mind, because he also has in mind one more phrase, a common destiny for mankind. That common destiny for mankind is communism under the leadership or rulership of the Communist Party of China.
Cliff, I'd like to unpack your previous statement saying that Vladimir Putin, in your estimation, is preparing for an autumn offensive. Apart from the politics of it all, is this also, or would it be a strategic move, knowing that a very harsh winter is coming? These tend to be the entrance into the winter months in that region. Is that part of the reason you think that he's going to up his attacks?
Yeah, what normally happens is in the winter there's less fighting. It's harder to do. It can be done, but it's harder to do. So he has as he sees it, a window of opportunity here to take more territory. Keep in mind, the war has been kind of stalemated for some time. Russia holds about 20% of Ukrainian territory, but in the past 1,000 days, it's gone from 19% to 20%, very little. Part of what he's demanding, and his demands have not changed at all over time. But part of what he's demanding for a ceasefire, not for real peace, is that other parts of eastern Ukraine should be given to him, the parts that he couldn't get militarily. He particularly wants what's called the fortress belt. It's called that because you have fortified cities that he hasn't been able to break through. He would love diplomatically to get what he hasn't been able to get militarily, and if he were to get it, then that would leave Ukraine much more vulnerable, say for a spring offensive, if they could get into the interior. I don't think this is going to come about. Zelensky is not going to give it. He knows what's going on here. But that's but he is going to see. Let's give it one more good shot and see how much more territory we can get in this new offensive. That's my prediction.
Cliff May, always great to see you, and we appreciate you with all of the advice or the expertise. Thank you so much.
Anytime, Dave. Thank you, guys.
All right, Cliff. Coming up, those GLP-1 drugs have helped many people lose weight, but can it actually help improve a painful skin condition? We're going to have details next on American Summit.